you bring up the fact that the Huskies are just one game away. We saw last year with the playoffs that a team that was 4-5, there were several teams that made the playoffs last year. So I think you hit it right on the head. This team is battling for their life, and they've been outstanding all season, hanging in every game. And I think they're looking forward to that opportunity tonight to get that one win to really give them a chance for that playoff
start. But when you look at the North offense, Cam Olsen, the running back, is generally the guy that's going to get the majority of the touches.
Yeah, absolutely. He's their horse in the backfield. He's got 771 yards rushing this year. And I think the reason they've gone more with Zach Shipman is he is much more of a running threat. He's already the second leading rusher on their team with 167 carries, and he's only played in 3 games. So I think he just gives that added dimension of a guy that can scramble and run and pick up yardage that way. But you absolutely will see Peyton McCracken tonight. He is the guy that can throw the ball a little bit better. So if they get in those situations, they will not be afraid to use him.
Yeah, the Huskies do have some capable receivers, Travion Johnson, Aaron Solberg, and Carter Burns. They also have big guys up on the line, and it'll be interesting to see how they match up against New Richmond that maybe doesn't have the size of a Hudson, but everybody on that New Richmond defense can run, and they rally to the football very well.
That's what's so impressive about New Richmond is just their team speed. Doesn't matter where you're talking, linebackers, receivers, D-backs, running, just loaded with team speed. And I think you're right. I think the Huskies have to take advantage of their size up front. I think if they're going to win this football game tonight, the Huskies have to control the football. They've got to run it at New Richmond up the middle. They got to kind of just use their power football and run 6, 7, 8-minute drives of 10, 12 plays just to keep that potent offense off the field.
Today's pregame show is brought to you by Asher Exteriors. Call Asher's for your Forget Gutter helmet. With Asher Lasting Exteriors, trust the experts on your most valuable asset, your home. Give them a call today, 888-GO-AT-RUN. Then you throw in receivers like Ketcher Langness and Nick Salmon out there. All these guys can get down the field in a hurry.
Yeah, absolutely. And New Richmond's going to try to just widen that field, right? They're going to use 2 receivers, 3 receivers. They're going to spread you sideline to sideline, and they're going to just try to open things up, get the football into one of their speed guys' hands, and let him go. You said it. It's a Hitty and Burke show for the most part, as they both have rushed for 486, 484 yards apiece, but they're averaging almost 7 yards a carry. So that is something that the Huskies have really got to be aware of. It's just, and we want to talk about Husky defense, contain it. Right? Make them go inside, so at least maybe they can handle that stuff inside. You got to contain it, and if they do get on the edge, you've got to be able to open field tackle because you've got to get those guys down early before they get ahead of steam.
Ketcher Langness is a deep threat. He's one of the receivers for this New Richmond offense. Defensively, New Richmond runs that real interesting dual flex defense where they don't put any of their linemen in a down position. It's a little bit of a read and react kind of system, but for them it works with the type of personnel they have.
Well, you hit it right on the head. It's personnel driven, right? If you aren't big enough to put a guy down in a 3-point stance or 4-point, why do it? Let him stand up, maybe get a better view of what's happening in the backfield, move, slant, just make it a little tougher to block. And you said maybe they'll put 1 down this time, they'll put 2 down the next time. Nobody's down. It's just something different, and it's something that the other opposing offenses really have to work on.
Sparks, if you're going to look at keys to the game for the Huskies, what are those?
Well, again, Husky defense, contain that offense, contain the perimeter, and when you got to make that open field tackle, you've got to make that open field tackle. Offensively, I think the Huskies just need to control the football, control the clock. Take that 5-6 yards a carry, take 3 yards a carry. Just move the chains, and don't be in such a rush to maybe go over the top when you don't need to. If you can move those chains and chew up that clock with your offense on the field, I think it'd be a lot better situation.
This matchup here at Carson Park, one of 4 going on tonight in the Big Rivers Conference. Eau Claire Memorial is at Chippewa Falls. Both of those teams coming in 2-5 overall, 1-4 in the conference. River Falls at Menominee, another matchup of teams with identical records. They're both 5-2 overall, 3-2 in the conference. Superior, which is winless on the season, heads to Hudson. The Raiders 6-1 overall, 5-0 in the conference. Auto, home, business, or workers' insurance, it's all under one roof at Potter Agency Insurance. That is Potter Agency Insurance on Claremont Avenue in Eau Claire. Right now, our national anthem. Very nice rendition of our national anthem done by the Eau Claire North Choir. The majority of the milk delivered to schools in Eau Claire and central Wisconsin happens with locally owned Blue Northern Distribution. Now's your chance to join the team at new Blue Northern. Hiring for drivers in Eau Claire and Sparta. Apply online today. BlueNorthernDistributing.com. Both teams choosing to be introduced as a group. The Huskies won the toss. They deferred to the second half. New Richmond will receive. The North Huskies will kick off. Set the defense for the Huskies. Up front, Noah Penniger, Bryce Heinbuch, Clay Lazinski, and Rashawn Putnick. Your linebackers, Brady Jensen, Taylor Frederick, Kate Johnson, and then on the back end, Reagan Cruitt, Ty Schaff, Maddox Gertz, and Croy Lindman. New Richmond's offense up front, Will Fuhrer, Caleb Hyman, Connor Castro, Wyatt Stelrick, Mac Reardon. Wide receivers, Catcher Lagnus and Nick Salmon. George Schroeder is the tight end. Reese Hitty, the starting quarterback. And the running backs, Miles Burke and Joe Hepner. Huskies will be in their home Columbia blue jerseys with the black numerals, white and black trim, the black helmets, and the black pants. New Richmond in the road whites, the orange numerals, black helmets, black pants. In this first quarter, New Richmond will get the ball first, and they will be moving right to left. There's a bit of a breeze here at Carson Park, and it appears to be blowing more or less right to left. Kicking it off for the Huskies will be Aaron Solberg. Back deep for the Tigers. Number 8 is Abraham Monson. Number 12, Catcher Langness. Both of those guys have good wheels. Important matchup in the Big Rivers Conference. Solberg approaches the football. We are underway, and it's a short kick taken by one of the up men right at the 26-yard line, so that's where the Tigers will start on offense. Olympic Flame Restaurant in Eau Claire has been a delicious dining option since 1980. Uncle Lampros brought homemade family recipes from Greece, and the tradition continues today. Olympic Flame Restaurant, Eau Claire's best-kept secret. Olympic Flame Greek Restaurant, London Road in Eau Claire. Line of scrimmage is the 26. Two receivers either side. Reese Hitty operating out of the pistol. He'll hand it off to Miles Burke, who runs into a host of Huskies. One play, but a good start for Eau Claire North.
Yeah, absolutely, and this really is going to be interesting. This first drive, as New Richmond's going to go no huddle and hurry this thing up.
Hitty will hand it off, and this time breaking through is Burke. Spins forward across the 35-yard line.
Well, typical Tigers. How about that? First play, you get stuff for no yards, come right back, the exact same play, pick up 10 on the first down.
Carter Vance in on the tackle for the Huskies. Another handoff to Burke, and he gets a couple over left tackle. So 3 straight runs to begin the game for the New Richmond Tigers, who will now put trips to the far side. Salmon, the receiver, to the left. Hitty, play fake. Deep down the sideline, wide open.
Oh, and what a catch.
And a catch.
Wow, I think that's a catch in the NFL. He had both toes hanging on the sideline and reels it in.
That is enough for a first down for the Tigers.
Good connection there for New Richmond. All the way down to the north 39-yard line. And up the middle, and breaking through is Miles Burke.
And Richmond is going absolute warp speed right now. I have not seen them go this quick on offense all season.
First down, New Richmond, line of scrimmage, the 21. He will hand it off. And a great run up the middle for Miles Burke. He brings it inside the 10.
Such a good job of picking through those openings. He got that second level, had to make a cut, shook off a tackle, and picked up a 15 on that run.
First and goal, Tigers. And again, it's Burke spinning his way, getting a push,
and
he's in for the touchdown. Impressive opening drive for New Richmond. They march all the way downfield. 74 yards. Miles Burke carries it in from 8 yards out, and the Tigers grab the early lead.
What a great job by the Richmond Tigers of putting that offense together. Just moving quick. Did not let the Huskies even catch their breath.
Bjorn Bonneman on for the extra point. It's up, and it is good. 10:29 remaining first quarter. Your score, New Richmond 7, Eau Claire North 0. We've got more football coming up right after this on Zaleski Sports.
Asher Laston Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's trusted gutter and gutter helmet experts. Our highly trained certified technicians can install gutter helmet onto new or existing gutters. Gutter helmet blends in beautifully with your home, can withstand the heaviest of rainfalls, and is backed by a lifetime transferable warranty. Save up to 20% with zero down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with seamless gutters and gutter helmet. Brought to you by Asher Laston Exteriors.
We are back at Carson Park. An impressive opening drive for the New Richmond Tigers. Capped off the Miles Burke touchdown run. Bjorn Bonneman booted the extra point. 7-0 Tigers with 10:29 remaining in the first. Huskies will look for a good return. Taken by one of the up men who breaks through. Now to the outside and across the 40-yard line. The Huskies will begin this drive with really good field position. Ty Schaff on the return there for the Huskies. And their offense will look like this up front. Kent Mondo, Ethan Knutson, Bryce Heinbuch, Clay Lazinski, and Rashawn Putnick. Receivers, Travion Johnson, Aaron Solberg, Carter Burns. Quarterback is Zach Shipman. Brady Jensen is the H-back. Cam Olson is the running back. Line of scrimmage, the north 43-yard line. It'll be Johnson split out to the right. Olson straight up the middle, pushing forward. He'll get forward progress out to the 45-yard line. Defensively for the Tigers up front, Caleb Hyman, Cole Stevens, Albert Cantu, Trevor Solon, and Andy Johnson. Linebackers are Kyle Germain, Bjorn Bonneman, Evan Matuzak. And on the back end, Will Hepner, Reese Hitty, Abraham Munson, and R.J. Amundsen. Gain of 2 for Olson, 2nd and 8 for the Huskies. Option pitch. Olson hit behind the line of scrimmage and then dropped after a very short game. Caleb Hyman in on the tackle for the Tigers.
Real nice job by that defensive end for the Tigers as he strung that play out, kind of feathered it, we call it, where you make that quarterback try to make a decision as late as possible. By the time he pitched it, that linebacker came screaming off the edge for only a 1-yard gain. So real nice job by the Tigers stringing that one out.
And these are the kind of down and distance situations the Huskies are hoping to avoid tonight. 3rd and 8. And Shipman, while he's the better runner of the two quarterbacks, is not quite the passer that Peyton McCracken is. will keep it on the ground. Shipman gets to the edge, pushing forward, very close to first down yardage.
I think he might be about a half yard short, but I'm sure the Huskies will go for this.
Yeah, given down in distance, it's third and less than a yard. And the offense is staying out on the field.
Well, we talked about Shipman being that running quarterback, and there's an example. 3rd and 8. He goes in, keeps it, and just follows his blockers and picks up 7.5.
Huskies will spread it out on 4th down. Quarterback sneak. Shipman pushing forward. And he will have the first down. The North drive stays alive.
That's a big first down for the Huskies right there. We talked about, again, ball control and keeping possession of football as long as you can. So that'll keep the drive alive.
As we said in our pregame, it is homecoming here for the North Huskies. A very nice contingent of fans. Although I haven't seen a lot of coats like this at a Carson Park football game probably since late last fall, Sparks. We've been treated to some really nice warm weather.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful fall, no doubt.
Yeah, not so much. Well, it's good football weather, you could say. 50 degrees at game time.
Yeah, it's perfect for the guys, isn't it? They just don't get overheated. They can go all day.
Tigers will take timeout. We will keep it here. Marquardt Motors, your local Buick and GMC dealer, has the area's largest pre-owned and new vehicle inventory with new arrivals daily. View the inventory at marquardtmotors.com or stop in to talk to a friendly, salaried sales consultant. Play It Again Sports in Eau Claire is your go-to for buying, selling, and trading your new and second-hand sports equipment and apparel. Sharing a love for sports and your bank account, that is Play It Again Sports on East Hamilton Avenue in Eau Claire. Important in this game, Sparks, for the Huskies to keep it close and to hang around in the game and not be forced out of their game plan because they're down 2 or 3 scores.
Boy, isn't that true, huh? You said it. It's just like you've got to at least be within a touchdown or 2 this game. Otherwise, you get out of your game plan. You can't be so balanced anymore, and you start throwing it all over the place, and that's not what they want to do. So, again, important to keep it close, give themselves a chance in that 4th quarter.
Huskies operating from the Richmond 46. They'll keep it on the ground and knifing through down to the 40-yard line on a good gain. Cam Olsen, the ball carrier again.
And that's that first down play they need right there. Pickup of 6, 7 yards on first down, leaves them 2nd and medium. That keeps this offense going.
And the big difference with the Huskies this year is that for the first time in a while, they've got size on the offensive and defensive lines. And they can run off tackle and be successful at it. They fake the jet sweep. Olsen bounces it outside. He's got the first down inside the 30.
Real nice counter play that time. Fake it off the right side, counter it back to the left. And you talk about the offensive line. Well, right there's an example of what that offensive line can do. They pulled the backside tackle and tight end to come around that left side, and they got some great blocks on the edge and sprung them for a big one.
First down Huskies. They've got it on the Tigers' 28-yard line. Three receivers to the right for North. Shipman will keep, hit behind the line of scrimmage, and drop for a loss.
Yeah, tough play right there to the short side of the field. Trying to fake that one to Cam Olsen, and then Shipman was trying to take it around the edge and just got bottled up on that short side of the field.
So the Huskies now looking at a 2nd and 12. First drive of the game for North. New Richmond took the opening kickoff, went 76 yards, and got a touchdown on its opening drive. Handoff, Olsen. Got some positive yardage, and then was taken back. Trevor Soland, Andy Johnson in on the tackle for the Tigers.
Third down for the Huskies.
Well, it's 3rd and 8 right now, but I think that Husky offense has got to think in terms of 2 plays to pick up 8 yards. You are definitely in 4-down territory right here.
Line of scrimmage is the 26 of New Richmond. North Huskies looking at a 3rd and 8.
Huskies are going to use a timeout here as that play clock was running down.
Timeout on the field. We'll step aside as well. Back with more football from Carson Park right after this on Zaleski Sports.
You know better when you see it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like, and you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
We're back at Carson Park. 5:31 to go. First quarter. New Richmond opened the game on a scoring drive. Huskies look an answer on their first drive of the game.
Well, the real nice thing about this drive is it's already taken over 5.5 minutes for this drive. So if they can get another first down, we talked about sustaining drives and running that clock, and so far they've done that.
Football's loose. Shipman able to get on top of it. Sparks, that's the absolute one of the last things you want to see, especially coming out of a timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. You got the play call you wanted. You're thinking, all right, 3rd and 8, let's pick up 4 or 5 here and make it 4th and short. And then all of a sudden a little mishandling on the exchange right there. And, boy, it puts Huskies in a hole at 4th and 12 now.
Huskies need 12 yards. We'll have to get it down to the 18.
They usually like to roll Shipman in these situations. That way he can pass or run if he needs to.
Burns wide right. Solberg slot right. And it's intercepted. Intercepted by the Tigers. Abraham Monson with the pick. And the first turnover of the game goes to New Richmond. That one kind of sailed on Shipman.
Yeah, sure did. That one got away from him in a big time because it was center field back there. He just waited for it to come down in his lap, and he caught it and took off and basically brought it back to that line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you'd almost prefer he knock it down to save the yardage, but he got some big yards in a return, so New Richmond with the football back.
Shipman takes it back out to the 29-yard line. The Tigers back on offense. We'll keep it on the ground and squirting through and getting beyond the 35-yard line is Miles Burke.
Yeah, a little wrinkle right there was Burke again right up the middle, but they're taking that tight end and using him as a wham block. They just bring him across the line of scrimmage and block that defensive tackle. So again, just chain it to blocking schemes, but running the same play.
You got Langdis as the middle guy in those receivers left side. They'll throw a swing pass, and that results in a nice gain to Miles Burke. First down, Tigers.
Well, I was just about to say good job blocking in the perimeter, but they're actually going to get the Tigers here for a hold.
Miles Burke, there is a penalty on the play.
Well, this is the challenge when you play a team like New Richmond that's got such good speed on the perimeter. You tend to, your splits have to be wider. You got to respect the edges, but then they come out like they did in that first drive, and they just kind of hit you between the tackles. So now it's like, well, pick your poison.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, we were trying to contain, make sure we can't get outside of us. Well, they're going right up the middle on us. Now we got to make an adjustment to that. So then you just work the edges. So, yeah, New Richmond's just so balanced.
2nd and 14, Tigers. They will hand it off It's Langness trying to get to the edge, but the Huskies strung that one out well to bring up a third down.
Langness, the ball carrier. Tackle on the play by number 99, Noah Pennegar.
Pennegar with a real nice play inside, able to chase that down.
So to bring up a 3rd and 14 now for the Tigers. Again, it's Langness in that middle position left side. They got 2 receivers to the far side as well. Stelricht, who's in at quarterback, throws incomplete.
Yeah, he underthrew him. I noticed that too. Stelricht came in for that throw, and he had a guy open down the middle. He just kind of short-armed it. And so for the Huskies, great job. They're going to force a punt here.
So a good answer by the North defense, picking up the offense that threw an interception on their drive.
Devin Anderson on in punt formation for the Tigers. Back deep for the Huskies.
Devin Anderson will punt. Huskies have Maddox Gertz back to receive this punt. But this one's going to roll to a stop just inside the 40-yard line. Keep your home and valuables safe with SOS Security in Eau Claire. Protect against intruders, fires, water, and more for every room, every door, and every window. Place your trust in SOS Security. HS Fence has served Wisconsin's commercial and residential fencing needs for the last 18 years. HS Fence, specializing in chain link, vinyl wood, and ornamental fencing. Huskies take over at their own 40-yard line, trailing 7-0 to New Richmond. Handoff, Cam Olsen. Taken down at the 44-yard line.
Tackle on the play by number 15, Bjorn Bonneman, and number 24, Kyle Germain. 2nd down for the Huskies.
But again, a nice pickup on 1st down, 4 yards, 4 or 5 yards to crack. The Huskies will be happy with that rush game.
Second drive of the game for the Huskies. They moved the ball very well on their first drive, but that ended with an interception. Tigers territory. Shipman will keep. Yeah, and very little running room. Andy Johnson was there for the Tigers, as was Caleb Hyman. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Caleb Hyman's done a lot of nice things for the Tigers on the edge. That defensive end, he's been tough to block. He's done a really nice job of stringing all plays. He's made his presence felt there in that Tigers defense.
For whatever it's worth, Peyton McCracken, who has started a number of games for the Huskies, is warming up on the sideline for North.
And there's that delay of game. We talked about a couple close ones earlier, but they got delay of game there. That'll be costly.
How much does that change your play call, Sparks? Instead of 3rd and 6, now you're looking at 3rd and 11.
Yeah, I wonder, it's like you said, you might have had that play call for Shipman to roll, kind of have a decision to run or throw it. Now you really eliminate the run part of it. So he's going to have to come out and probably chuck this one down, hopefully complete a pass for him. But, again, that's on the quarterback right there. Shipman's got to see that when he comes up to the line of scrimmage. See that back judge. As his arm is waving, he's counting down the last 5 seconds. So he's already at 10 seconds here.
Trips to the right for the Huskies. Pressure coming, and Shipman is dropped. Blitzing from the near side, Bjorn Bonneman. And it's a 3 and out for the Huskies.
Yeah, just a blitz off the edge right there, not accounted for. Bonneman just comes in and smokes the quarterback. Shipman didn't even see him. Fortunately, he held on to the football, so at least the Huskies can punt it out of here.
Abraham Monson back deep for the Tigers. Punter is Tommy Perkins. Monson who had the interception that thwarted the last North drive. High punt. Monson coming to the near sideline. He loses the handle, but then takes it out of bounds.
Real nice punt right there for the Huskies, though. He angled it towards the sideline, got some good yardage, and then just went out of bounds without Munson being able to do something with it.
This is one of the first games, too, Sparks, that you could say wind is a bit of a factor, and it's kind of gusting on and off right at the very second. It's, you look at the flags on the goalpost, they're not blowing, but every once in a while it'll kick up. Reese Hitty back at quarterback now for the Tigers. Hitty will keep it and take it across the 35.
Bryce Heinbuch stayed home and made the play as he cut it back.
Tackle on the play by number 76, Bryce Heinbuch. Second down for the Tigers.
Joe Hepner is now the running back. He wears number 1.
That's the quarter.
A fast-moving first quarter is in the books. Your score, New Richmond 7, Eau Claire North 0. We've got the second quarter coming up right after this on Zaleski Sports.
At Marquardt Motors, we want our customers to experience the highest possible level of satisfaction. That's why we offer the largest selection of new and used vehicles at the lowest possible price. It's why we offer Saturday service, and we have our own body shop on site. I'm Dave Marquardt. I invite you to come experience the personal service we worked for 50 years to achieve and will continue to improve on for many years to come.
We are back at Carson Park. Second quarter about to begin. It's the New Richmond Tigers 7, the Eau Claire North Huskies 0. Huskies had a good drive the first time they had the football, but it ended with an interception. Second drive led to a punt. New Richmond taking over, and now their drive carrying in to the second quarter. Reese Hitty remains at quarterback for the Tigers. Hitty on the keeper to the 40, across the 45. Got away from Carter Vance, who appeared to have the angle, but Hitty just hit that and took it down to the 48-yard line, so first down for the Tigers.
Well, real nice job by Hitty there as he got to the perimeter. He kind of gave that little ball fake, a la Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers type thing, fake the pass, and it makes those defensemen just kind of slam on the brakes like the ball's getting gone, but he just kept it and took the edge and picked up a good 7-8 yards on that and get a first down.
Aiden Eckert, the receiver, split out wide right. They'll flip Schroeder to the near side, the tight end. Hitty, quick pass, near side. Eckert, away from a defender, gets knocked out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
Nice little move right there by Eckert, a quick little hitch. Put on a couple moves, picks up 8.
Second and short now. And up the middle goes Joe Hepner. All the way down to the 36-yard line. That'll be another first down for the Tigers.
Well, if Noah Penninger doesn't come up with that tackle, he's going to the end zone. So a good job of coming up with that big one there.
First and 10 from the 36. They keep it on the ground. Short gain for Hepner. He's holding his ground really well is Bryce Heinbuch.
Yeah, Heinbach's done a nice job inside for the Huskies. Like you said, just kind of anchoring himself and getting off and making plays.
Gain of 1, second and 9. Hitty on the play fake. Shoots one downfield, incomplete. Was trying to get it to Aiden Eckert, but that one kind of sailed on Reese Hitty to bring up a 3rd and 9.
Well, he actually made the wrong read on that. As he rolled out, he actually had catcher Langness along the sideline, actually wide open, about 12 yards down the field. He just kind of made the wrong read right there.
Haiti on the keeper. Takes it down around to the 30-yard line. That'll bring up a 4th down, and based on what the New Richmond coaches are doing, they're going for it.
Try to draw him off with that quick set. Huskies were able to hold it. Now the Tigers will. Yeah, Tigers use a timeout. Talk about it.
We'll step aside as well. Back in a bit on Zaleski Sports. Welcome back to Carson Park. Our score is New Richmond 7, Eau Claire North 0. New Richmond looking at a 4th and 6 from the North 31-yard line. Reese Hitty, quick pass over the middle. He's got Schroeder. Schroeder's got the first down and more.
Oh, real nice look there. Quick hitch, Hitty to Schroeder. Schroeder just got off the line of scrimmage, looked back about 3 yards down on that quick little slant, and Hitty hit him right in stride. Big pickup right there on 4th.
Another score from the BRC. Hudson, the first quarter lead over Superior, 7-0. We're under 10.5 minutes to go, second quarter. New Richmond driving. 1st and 10 from the North 12. Hitty to the end zone. It's got a man back there. Incomplete. Was trying to connect with Nick Salmon. Maddox Gertz was back there. Check that. Ty Schaff back there on the coverage.
Real nice job
for
by
the
Shaw.
Huskies.
Yeah, real nice job in the corner.
2nd and 10. Hitty will keep it on the ground. Short gain for Joe Hepner.
Just reading Hitty right now on that play. Eventually here, Hitty's going to give that ride and pull and take it himself off the edge.
Miles Burke checking in for the Tigers, and Hepner will head to the sidelines.
Number 7, Cade Johnson. 3rd down for the Tigers.
Tigers looking at a 3rd and 9. They get a decent place kicker in Bjorn Bonneman, but we'll see if this is 4-down territory or not. Hitty fakes the handoff, throwing deep to the end zone, knocked away. Played well that time on the back end by Croy Lindman.
Well,
Again, they were trying to get it to Shorter.
Yeah, he was open there for a second. Lindman, great job of closing on that one because that ball was laid in just perfect. He turned, opened up, got back there, and knocked it away just as it hit his hands. You can't play it any better than that right there. Great job.
So now here is New Richmond. Bonneman will try the field goal, and he pulled it left. Field goal is no good. So the Huskies get a stop, and they will take over at their own 11. And I think if you're the Huskies, boy, aside from that first drive, I think they've kind of shored things up a little bit and are sitting in an okay position now.
Absolutely, right? You got a couple of stops. You made them punt. You make them try a field goal from a distance out. They missed, and you're in this thing. Second quarter, it's only a 7-0 game. Momentum has kind of swung back to the Huskies here.
So the Huskies will take over at the 20 following that missed field goal attempt. Huskies hand it off to Cam Olson.
I think that's Peyton McCracken in there now at quarterback, isn't it, Bretto?
On the play by number 52, Caleb Hyman.
I've got the binoculars out, Sparks, and yes, you are correct. That is Peyton McCracken. So we'll see how much that changes the play calling. McCracken, pretty good passer in the games that we've seen him this year. He's throwing right. He's got a reception. They're going to mark that one down at the 31-yard line. Nice catch to Carter Burns.
Yeah, Burns with a great catch in traffic right there. Great job using his hands and reeling it in. And if you didn't hear, that was good enough for a first down.
So now Zach Shipman comes back in at quarterback. So it'll be interesting if they go, partial series and just kind of keep flip-flopping these two QBs.
Well, that's it. Shipman's going to run it like he likes to do.
Shipman breaking tackles, gets across the 40.
Number 11, Zach Shipman, the ball carrier, tackled the play.
Well, that's why he's in, right? I mean, he's not in there to throw it around. They're in there to try to create that deception between he and Olsen of which one's going to carry the football.
Carter Burns brings in the play. Yeah, and it's just so interesting in this game. You get New Richmond, when they're on offense, boy, they want to go quick. They want to snap the ball quickly. They'll spread you out. North is going to take its time, try to slow the game down a little bit. Interesting chess match going on here tonight at Carson Park. Shipman on the keeper.
Looks like he may be brought down just a little short.
Shipman, the ball carrier, tackled the play by number 8.
Oh, they're going to give him the first down.
It was the right foot spot. The left foot spot.
Yeah, and Richmond's
One of those
not
two.
real thrilled with that, actually.
No,
The coach has got his arms out to the side. He's like, how did you get that spot for a first down? But they did. So first down, Huskies.
From their own 42. We'll send out trips to the left. Shipman remains at quarterback. He'll hand it off. Olsen fighting for yardage. Gets out to the 45-yard line.
Tackling the play by number 24, Kyle Germain.
Yeah, Kyle Germain, nice job filling that one for the Tigers. Just a short pick of about 3 yards. But there's your Huskies just trying to spread it out. Again, same thing. Spread it out. Let Shipman or Olsen carry that ball as they try to spread out that defense a little bit for those two.
Hudson has now extended its lead. 14-0 over Superior. Shipman will throw. He's got a completion. And the Huskies will have a first down.
Well, nice job right there by Zach Shipman. Real quick out. Put it right on him, and Jensen turned it up for a first down.
That time they got the H-back out into the pattern, and Brady Jensen pulled that in for a TD.
Like the balance of this offense right now. The throw, the run, really doing a nice job of keeping the Tigers off balance.
Huskies have it, 1st and 10 from the Tigers' 47. Shipman will hand it off to Olsen, who bounces it off right tackle and gets some positive yardage. Good feet that time by Cam Olsen.
Yeah, really good feet. You're right. In the backfield, had a couple of guys coming at him. Little stutter step, got through him, picked up 5 on that one.
From the 42 of New Richmond. Shipman on the slant.
They're looking for a flag, obviously, here with the Huskies.
Carter Burns says the defense got there much too quickly.
I would say it's almost like he was wrapped up, right? That D-back kind of had his hands around his waist, and Burns was trying to pull away and couldn't get away. So I think the Tigers might have got away with one right there.
Broken up by number 2, Will Hefner.
Well, they didn't like the spot earlier on the drive that gave the Huskies a first down, and Now they can look at that and say, all right, we'll take that. 3rd and 5 now for the Huskies. Line of scrimmage, the 42. Shipman remains at quarterback. He will keep it.
He's in
trouble, and he's taken down. On the sack, Caleb Hyman came through pretty much unabated.
Yeah, there's that Caleb Hyman again. We mentioned him earlier in the game. Comes off that edge. He just does a great job in the perimeter that time. A lot of pressure, heat early. Really hard for Shipman to get his shoulders turned to make a throw right there, as he was just trying to run away from him.
They list Hyman at 6'1", 241, but he can move.
He's a good athlete, no doubt about it.
So Perkins standing back at his own 30. Abraham Munson back to receive for the Tigers. Nice boot by Perkins. Munson's just going to let that thing go. And it's down by the Huskies inside the 15-yard line. At Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, whether you are a professional athlete, weekend warrior, or simply have an aching joint, rest assured that you will receive unsurpassed care delivered with compassion and respect. When you need it most, visit the sports medical experts at Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Nick Stelrecht will be the quarterback on this offensive series now for New Richmond. 1st and 10 from their own 14, 5:09 remaining. 2nd quarter. Handoff goes to Miles Burke.
Big drive right here. We got 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Huskies, if they can get off the field and go down maybe at half, just down 7-0, will be very excited about that. New Richmond's trying to give themselves a little distance before half. So they're trying to put together a quick drive here with now just 4.5 left in the 2nd quarter.
Second and 7 for the Tigers. Quick pass, far side. Tigers have a completion. They'll get that out to catcher Langness. And that's a 1st down for the Tigers.
Max Kredovitz, number 18 out there on the perimeter. Does a great job of blocking. Always tough for those wide receivers to stalk block out there. Takes a lot of effort, and he brought it that time.
Stelrecht hands it off to Burke. Burke pushing forward. Gets out to the 30, short gain on 1st down. Huskies would love to get a stop here and get the ball back to their offense. Remember, North won the toss, deferred to the 2nd half, so they will receive the kick to start the 3rd quarter. Schroeder motions to the far side of the formation. Stelrecht hands it off, but not much there for Miles Burke at all.
Nice job of the interior of that Husky defense. 2 consecutive plays up the middle and only picked up 3 yards. So making about a 3rd and 7 here. Big play coming up.
3rd down for the Tigers.
Joe Hepner now the running back for the Tigers. Stelrecht over the middle, and it's caught. Great catch by George Schroeder.
Again. Yes, what a big tight end he is. What a great catch in traffic.
Boy, Stelrecht, talk about hitting his spot. Put that through a couple defenders right on the hands of George Schroeder. 1st and 10. Tigers from their own 48. They'll hand it off, and Hepner stutter steps his way into North Territory down to the 47.
It's almost like Hepner got lost in there. It looked like he was going to get brought down for about a 1 or 2 yard gain, and he just scattered his way right through there to pick up 5-6.
They list Hepner at 5'9", 164. Yeah, he can dart. He can certainly move those feet. Gain of 5. 2nd and 5. Stelricht on the roll, throws complete. Still on his feet, Alex Awney. And he's going to bring the ball inside the 20-yard line. So a couple big plays, pass plays by the Tigers.
Yeah, great catch. Awney right there found the open seam. And after he caught it, he got upfield, picked up another 15 on a really nice run.
Line of scrimmage is the North 18. Joe Hepner, very little running room. Coming up and run support there. Cade Johnson, the linebacker.
The ball carrier. Tackle of the play, the number 7, Cade Johnson. 2nd down, the Tigers.
Minute 20 and counting remaining. 2nd quarter. New Richmond leading 7-0 and driving. Stelricht. He's going to take it around in, but he is wrapped up and dropped. Bryce Heimbuck. But Heimbuck is down on the ground, so we will have an injury timeout. Staub Construction is a premier builder of municipal and industrial water and wastewater treatment systems in the Midwest. Staub Construction has been partnering with private and public customers since 1984. Staub Construction has its own service and fabrication department to assist with any municipal or industrial situation. Staub Construction, a 100% employee-owned company. Security Financial Bank. Enjoy the benefits of business banking at Security Financial Bank with several options to fit your business. Learn more about business banking at sfbank.com. 1:01 remaining, 2nd quarter. 3rd and 10 now for the Tigers. They began this drive inside their own 20. Empty backfield, Stelricht. Trying the wide receiver screen, that bubble screen, but he overthrew catcher Langness.
Tell you what, Brado, that bubble screen was there. If he puts it on him, he already had linemen downfield blocking for him. He had everybody matched up. That would have been a big play for New Richmond.
So they'll bring the field goal unit on. We'll see what Bonneman can do. They're going to kick it from the 25-yard line, so it's a 35-yard attempt. Kick is on the way, and it is good. Bjorn Bonneman, 35-yard field goal with 46 seconds remaining, and the New Richmond Tigers take a 10-0 lead on the Eau Claire North Huskies. Back with more after this on Zaleski Sports.
Fleet Farm has everything you need for every season of life. From tending the vegetable garden season to planting 100 acres of crops season. Fleet Farm is your one-stop shop. Whether it's strawberry jam season, cook your walleye season, or his first set of wheels season. Fleet Farm is built for every season. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
A 35-yard field goal by Bjorn Bonneman, the only points in this 2nd quarter, and New Richmond has extended its lead over Eau Claire North to 10-0. Huskies will have a little bit of time to work with. Remember, they will receive to begin the 2nd half. Bonneman to kick it off for the Tigers. Travion Johnson on the return. Johnson still on his feet. Gets to the edge. And escorted out of bounds right around the 40-yard line. Good return for the Huskies, and they will have 38 seconds to work with.
38 seconds and 2 timeouts. So you get that great return. You're going to get after this. I bet you they probably come out here with Peyton McCracken, their throwing quarterback, and see what they can do here. They've got time left before the half ends.
They would love to double up, get something out of this drive right here, and then take the kick to begin the third quarter. It'll be Zach Shipman at QB for the Huskies. So they go on this drive with the sophomore Shipman. Empty the backfield. Shipman will run. Shipman into Tigers territory. And taken down inside the 40.
Great call right there. That was a design quarterback draw all the way. He had trips over here to the side. He ran the halfback out there, making it look like a bubble screen to him. And all he did was pump fake, and he turned it upfield, and he had all that room up there. What a great play call right there.
Huskies will take a timeout. We'll keep it here and tell you that Castle Insurance, based in Eau Claire, is your local independent insurance provider. By being an independent insurance agency, they represent many of the finest companies in the industry to get you the coverage that is right for you. For all your insurance needs, you can depend on Castle Insurance. Well, let's go into that north huddle here, Sparks. You're at the 39 of New Richmond. You've got 30 seconds remaining and one timeout remaining. What kind of things can we expect out of the Huskies?
Yeah, this is one of the things right now the Tigers are wondering too, right? We got Shipman back in there, who again, more of the running quarterback, not so much with McCracken who throw it a little bit better, but again, they just set up things really nice for him in that run game. So, but again, he's had some real nice passes. He's had some quick outs, some quick slants that he's hit. So again, I think McCracken will try to do that again here, stay in the pocket and hit somebody quick.
Again, they'll empty the backfield. Shipman with pressure, hit as he throws, and incomplete.
Yeah, untouched off the edge here. Again, we talked about staying in the pocket and getting rid of it quick. Well, it was a good thing he did. And I think McCracken will probably bring out this next play because you got 2nd and 10 here.
Trevor Soland was the guy putting all the heat on Zach Shipman. You're exactly right. Here comes Peyton McCracken with 26 seconds left. 2nd and 10 from the 39.
Probably need another good 15, 20 yards before they can attempt a field goal here.
McCracken intercepted.
He's got a chance.
Down the sideline. And taken down. Kyle Germain on the pick.
Well, went to the well one too many times. They've been trying to hit that slot, little inside dig route. That's ones they've hit 2 other times. That time that linebacker read it perfect. Got underneath that route, picked it off, and ran it way back.
All the way down to the Huskies' 27-yard line. So 15 seconds remaining, and New Richmond brings Reese Hitty back at quarterback. So you'd expect the Tigers to maybe take a couple shots to the end zone. They have 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, their pass game's been effective here the first half.
Running back is Miles Burke. Movement by Burke, and here comes the flag. Well, a delayed flag, and a number of the North players are pointing, going, hey, wait a second, he moved.
I think the Husky players and about 1,000 fans right below us here were all
yes.
yelling for that
yes.
one. They could see him flinch, and then he tried to freeze after that, but it was too late.
So no time off the clock, but the Tigers move back 5 yards. Looking at a 1st and 15 from the Huskies 32. Hitty on the keeper. Reese Hitty. He's got a lot of room. Hitty to the 20, to the 10, and inside the 10 with 6 seconds remaining. Great downfield blocking there. Aiden Erickson doing a really nice job holding up his man and allowing Hitty to get some extra yardage.
Yeah, Hitty got trapped up inside in that mess and that wash, and once he broke out of there, he had nothing but green turf on this side of the field, and fortunately for the Huskies, they were able to recover to stop him at least short of the end zone. And with just 6 seconds left, this would be really interesting what the Tigers want to do. Obviously, they're in field goal range, but yet they probably could take one shot in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that 6 seconds, is that enough for a quick shot? I mean, they are on the 8.
Yeah, that's just it. I think you are. But it's going to be quick, right? It's going to be out of his hands, a little fade route again in the end zone, or maybe a back shoulder throw. Something again. It's got to be in and out of his hands quick. Leave him about 2 seconds to kick that field goal if it's incomplete.
Big defensive stand for the Huskies. I mean, if you can go in down 10-0, okay, not ideal, but you've moved the ball. You've played some decent defense. You're still hanging around.
Yep,
You're
absolutely.
still very much in the game. Now, all of a sudden, you go down either 13-0 or 17-0. It's a whole different story.
Yeah, 17 is really going to hurt here. So, again, big crucial. Got to make a play right here on this play.
First and goal, Tigers from the 8. Just 6 seconds remain. To the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, there's that little fader out to the corner like we talked about. Leaves him exactly 2 seconds on the clock for the field goal.
So now Bjorn Bonneman will come on in, and he'll attempt a field goal. He is 1 for 2. This one will be a 25-yard attempt. Snap is down, the kick is on the way, and it is good. So that interception turns into points. And at the half, it's New Richmond 13, Eau Claire North 0. Huskies did some good things in the first half, but they've got some work to do in the second half, Sparks.
Yeah, they do, and that's one of those things. They'll go in there and make those little halftime. Like you said, they move the football, make a couple adjustments in their offensive schemes, maybe try to finish those drives. Again, they're only 2 touchdowns back, right? I mean, it's a 13-0 game. They come out with that first drive and put 7 on the board, and it's a ball game. So it's important. Again, they'll make the coaching staff does a great job making adjustments at halftime. They'll go in there and make sure they can probably finish off one of these drives and get back into it.
We'll recap the scoring for you. First quarter was New Richmond. Miles Burke, an 8-yard touchdown run that capped off an opening drive for the Tigers. Bjorn Bonneman booted the extra point. It was 7-0 New Richmond with 10:29 to go in the first quarter. That was your score after 1. In the second, Bjorn Bonneman missed a field goal for New Richmond, but with 46 seconds remaining in the second, he booted one from 35 yards out to make it 10-0. Then Kyle Germain with a pass interception for New Richmond took the ball all the way back to the Huskies 27. And on the final play of the first half, Bjorn Bonneman from 25 yards out, his second field goal of the half. 13-0 New Richmond over Eau Claire North.
Into the Husky Hall of Fame.
Eau Claire North, it is homecoming for the Huskies, and they're also going to honor their new inductees into the Husky Hall of Fame. So congratulations to all those folks. Again, we're at the half. Your score, New Richmond 13, Eau Claire North 0. We'll have some halftime entertainment for you coming up next on Zaleski Sports, the latest edition of Edgar Football Hard Knocks. We'll have the second half of this one coming up after the break. Once again, your score, New Richmond 13, Eau Claire North 0. You're watching Zaleski Sports. We are back at Carson Park in Eau Claire, getting set to start the third quarter. It's New Richmond leading Eau Claire North 13-0. The Tigers will kick off to the Huskies. Bob Bradovich and Dave Sparger on the call tonight. Colin McClowry is our producer. And we'll get the teams oriented properly. Sparks, key drive for the Huskies coming up, trailing 13-0.
Yeah, we're obviously stating the obvious here, right? I mean, the next points are huge. If the Huskies can put a touchdown on the board, hey, we got a ball game. If New Richmond gets a stop and turns around and punches 7 and it's 20-0, that's going to be really hard for the Huskies to come back. So, yep, big drives coming up right here, and Husky looking for some points.
Other scores in the Big Rivers at the half. Chippewa Falls leading Eau Claire Memorial 25-8. Menominee on top of River Falls 19-7. Hudson at home leading Superior 21-0. Bjorn Bonneman to kick it off for the Tigers. Maddox Gertz trying to get wide, nowhere to go. Great pursuit by the Tigers. Number of players down there, including Joe Hepner.
Wow, was that fun to watch Joe Hepner close on with his speed.
Joe Hepner, who's gotten some time at running back this evening for the Tigers. But we talked about it, Sparks. This New Richmond team, top to bottom, these guys can really motor.
Yeah, like you said, it's team speed. It's not just their running backs or receivers. It is a full team of guys that can really run.
Peyton McCracken in at quarterback for the Huskies. They will hand it off. And Cam Olson will get it across the 15 out to the 17-yard line.
Good job there by Cam Olson, bouncing off that initial tackle, picking up about 4 on the play.
Zach Shipman started at quarterback for the Huskies. McCracken came in for a series. Shipman finished out the first half. Each QB has thrown an interception. Travion Johnson will go wide to the left. Pressure coming on McCracken. He's going to throw it away, and we have a penalty marker down.
Well, the Huskies are just not accounting for that blitz off the edge. Every time they come back to throw, they're not counting for that defensive end. It just comes flying. They've got to check their front there to go to that side to pick him up.
And again, New Richmond plays that double flex defense in Sparks. That's going to be tough to prepare for that in 1 week.
You know, it is, but unless you change your mindset, it really is a 5-2. They've got 5 guys up front, and they've got 2 linebackers sitting behind them. Now, like you said, they'll flex them off, they'll stand them up, they'll put them down, those kind of things. But just think about it in terms of 5 guys up front with 2 linebackers, and then worry a little less about where they're starting out and just realize that's who you've got.
Some of it is the scheme, Sparks, but I think a lot of it is just, again, going back to that speed. Those guys can all put heat on the passer, and very few times tonight has a North QB been able to just sit back there in the pocket and look downfield.
And here they come again. A little unbalanced look by New Rich. They're going to come off that edge.
And throwing high is McCracken, incomplete. Trying to get the H-back Brady Jensen on a short slant, but again, pressure coming from McCracken's right side, and he had to throw that one before he really wanted to. So the Huskies go 3 and out on their opening possession here in the second half, and they'll have to punt it away with Tommy Perkins, who is standing inside his own 5. Abraham Munson standing right around his own 45-yard line. Moderate pressure, decent punt by Perkins. And that's going to roll out of bounds, and New Richmond will take over at its own 41-yard line.
Yeah, dumb penalty right here by the Huskies. Way away from the play. He came up behind a New Richmond guy, gave him a little shove in the back, and he might have embellished a little bit, but he got the penalty as he was pushed in the back.
added on to the end of the play. First down.
Well, so good position, field position for the Tigers becomes great field position after that penalty. So Tigers will take over in North Territory. Reese Hitty, who was the starter back at quarterback, he and Nick Stelrecht have alternated as they have done much of the season. Max Kretovic split out wide to the near side. Quick pass his way is incomplete. Hitty was under pressure there that time, and there was some pressure up front. Rashawn Putnick was in his grill.
Yeah, good job by Putnick with that pressure up the middle. Faked that run. Wanted to hit that quick out on the perimeter, but he didn't have time to get it to him with the good pressure.
Again, Kretovic wide to the left. Miles Burke is the running back. Burke on the carry. He's got the edge. Burke inside the 25. Boy, that seam really opened up for Miles Burke.
Yeah, great job on the edger. That offensive tackle got that seal on the corner, and he had nothing but edge. And again, we talked about the receivers on the edge doing a great job blocking.
1st and 10 from the 21. Burke again. Taken down after a short gain.
Burke, the ball carrier, tackle the play by number 58.
Taylor Frederick, on the tackle. Gain of 2.
This is where the Huskies have tightened up so far tonight. They've only allowed the 1 touchdown and then a couple field goals, so they've been able to tighten up down in the red zone. See if they can do it again here.
Tigers will stack a pair of receivers on the right side. They fake it, and it's Burke thrown down inside the 10, but we have a penalty marker down.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold inside this time on the Tigers. Putnick was being held inside.
Number 7, Kate Johnson. There is a flag on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 56. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
Mac Reardon, the guilty party. That'll bring up a 2nd and 18. Line of scrimmage is the 29.
Look for the Tigers to get to the edge here.
They'll hand it off on that jet sweep. Inside the 25 goes catcher Langness.
Good job avoiding a couple tackles there in the backfield to pick up about 8 on the play.
Third down for the Tigers.
So they get some of that penalty yardage back. Still a no huddle for New Richmond, although I think they've dialed it back a little bit. They're not at the warp speed that they were early in the ballgame.
Yeah, that first drive really was warp speed. And like you said, they've kind of tamed it down a little bit here to get their calls in and get set.
Langness in motion. They fake it to him. Hitty. They take it off left tackle. Still going. Brought down short of the 15-yard line.
Interesting decision here now for the Tigers.
So it'll be about a 33-yard attempt. They haven't.
Well, looks like they're going for it, yeah.
Haven't brought the field goal unit in. They're going to go for it 4th and 6th. Hepner is the running back. Hitty over the middle's got a man caught. Touchdown. George Schroeder on the reception. A 17-yard TD pass. Reese Hitty to George Schroeder, and the Tigers extend their lead to 19-0.
Yeah, that's been a great combination for the Tigers tonight. Schroeder was the inside slot guy, ran a hard post across the middle right there. Great toss, just lobbed it up to him. He went and got it. Good play for the Tigers right there to put them up right now, 19-0.
Bonneman will attempt the extra point. And it's blocked. So your score with 8:27 to go in the third quarter remains New Richmond 19, Eau Claire North 0. We're back with more on Zaleski Sports.
Why work for Staub Construction?
Everybody around you is just family.
Everybody seems to bond together and get along good, and
They, I believe, truly care about their employees.
Staub has a great benefits package.
Staub is an employee-owned company that puts a large emphasis on work-life balance.
And everybody wants to see everybody succeed. It's a good place to work.
Join the team at Staub Construction. Apply now at staubco.com.
New Richmond Tigers get a TD pass. Reese Hitty to George Schroeder. And it's 19-0. 7-0 New Richmond after one. 13-0 at halftime. And now 19-0. Bjorn Bonneman will kick it away. Huskies need a spark, and they get a pretty good return across the 30-yard line. And for this drive, it'll be Zach Shipman at quarterback. Ty Schaff was the return man for the Huskies.
Huskies take over 1st and 10 from the 32.
Again, Shipman is much more the running quarterback. There's time for the Huskies. Again, New Richmond has missed a field goal. Huskies blocked that extra point. But the hill's a little higher to climb for North. We'll hand it off to Olson, and there's not a whole lot of running room for him.
Well, you said it, plenty of time, right? I mean, there's still 8 minutes here in the third quarter. You don't have to throw out your whole offense. So I think the Huskies are going to try to stay with their offense, mix it up the run and the pass, and still try to get that ball marched down the field. They're just literally looking for points here. So I don't think you have to go crazy with changing anything too quick here.
Evan Matusak was in on the tackle for New Richmond. Tigers came in 7-0 overall, 5-0 in the Big Rivers Conference. They are the second-ranked team in the Zaleski Sports Division II poll. Pressure on Shipman, and it's incomplete. Was trying to get it to Carter Burns, but Burns broke out toward the sideline, and that pass was between the numbers and the far hash marks.
Well, the Huskies still have not made the adjustment to pick up that free guy on the edge. Their offensive line, they've got 5 guys, and basically, the Tigers are bringing 5. So they've either got to shift to their left to pick up that, or they got to go to the right to pick it up. And right now, they're just simply shifting to the wrong side, and they're leaving a guy free off the edge each time. It is a 3-step and throw, and every time he's getting hit.
Johnson wide right, Burns wide left. They'll hand it to Solberg.
Oh, nice fill.
And nowhere to go. Wow, closing quickly, Abraham Munson.
Munson from the secondary. Picture perfect tackle right there. That'll bring up 4th down.
So the Huskies, 2 drives, 2 3-and-outs. Now Munson will go back and ready to return this punt, standing between his 30 and his 35. Tommy Perkins back to punt. Off the side of his foot, goes out of bounds right around midfield.
Yeah, that's going to be about a 15-yard punt, unfortunately, for the Huskies.
Tigers will take over with 6:47 left. Yeah, New Richmond has been putting together a really nice season. They will cap it off at home next week against Hudson. And at last check, the Raiders were leading Superior 21-0 at the half. So these scores hold up. It'll be 6-0 Hudson at 6-0 New Richmond. Big Rivers Conference title will be on the line next week in New Richmond. Hand off, Burke. And there goes Burke. Miles Burke all the way to the end zone for a New Richmond touchdown. 44-yard gallop, Miles Burke.
Boy, to North's credit, that's the one thing they have not allowed tonight was that big play, that one snap, 40, 50-yard run. Well, there it is, and that finally happened for the Tigers. They're just so hard to keep down with that team speed, and Burke just broke that one, was gone.
That makes it 25-0 in favor of New Richmond, and they brought a good contingent of students. You can see them down in the end zone seats, wearing the white, waving the flags. Bjorn Bonneman on for the PAT, had his last one blocked, but that whistle happened before the snap.
Yeah, he'll have to kick that one again. Illegal formation or procedure there on the Tigers.
Dead ball, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the try.
So it'll be a longer PAT now for Bjorn Bonneman. Bonneman's kick on the way, and it is good. 6:38 remaining, third quarter. New Richmond 26, Eau Claire North 0. Back with more after this on Zaleski Sports.
You know better when you see it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like, and you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
Welcome back to Carson Park. 2 touchdowns this third quarter for New Richmond, and the Tigers have extended their lead over the Eau Claire North Huskies. 26-0. Tigers, the second-ranked team in the Zaleski Sports Division II poll, and definitely looking the part tonight. Bjorn Bonneman, a low line drive kick, and it's taken by Carter Burns, one of the up guys for the Huskies. He brings it out to the 37-yard line, and that's where the Huskies will begin this drive. Well, this is one of those phases of the game, Sparks, where, North has done some really good things in these last couple of years, and the program has really taken some strides, but they're kind of staring at a big margin, big deficit tonight, and looking at it's disappointing for this group that had some high hopes when the season began and really got off to a nice start. They were 3-1 overall. Here's Shipman on the carry, gets across the 40.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the last couple of years, though, if you look at their schedule.
And as we talked about, Sparks, their goal, I think, in this one, if they could have hung around and maybe gone into the halftime down 10-0, I think the belief is a little higher. They threw that pick. New Richmond got another field goal. Now the penalty marker comes down.
Yeah, Tigers offsides right there. Yeah, you're right. If you go in down 10-0, you're feeling good about things, right? You move the ball. You're just one touchdown away from making it 10-7. You get the ball to start the second half, but unfortunately, they throw that pick. Tigers get a great return on it, and then they put points up right before half, and the momentum just switches. Tigers are running in up 13-0, had the big play, and the Huskies are left scratching their head, and they come out the second half, and it has obviously not gone the Huskies' way.
They go 3 and out, and then they give up a touchdown drive, touchdown pass to New Richmond. They go 3 and out again, and then a long TD run by Burke. Olsen powering out to midfield, and that'll be a first down for the Huskies. North will close out the season next week at River Falls. And you would think that the Wildcats will have plenty to play for as they try to get into that Division II postseason. River Falls 3-2 in the conference coming into tonight, but trailing at the half at Menominee. Shipman bounces off a 1 tackle and then taken down after just getting into Tigers territory, but that's going to bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, you talk about a big game next week, right? Let's assume the Huskies can't come back and win this one. They'll be sitting there with 2 conference wins. The Wildcats sitting there with 3 conference wins, and both of them are like saying, we've got to have it. You know, the River Falls, if they win, they know they're in. You know, the Huskies, hey, if they could pull off that upset, then, hey, they've got a chance.
Yeah, 3 wins would put you on the bubble, and then your fate's sort of in the hands of how everybody else does, and if you can get in. Shipman under pressure and sacked. Bjorn Bonneman. Coming from his linebacker position, he shot a gap, and again, another one of those New Richmond guys with speed.
Yeah, speed off the edge. You know, again, they're just not able to pick up. They're not counting for those guys, and even that one was a little bit of a delay. He just sat back there, paused a second like he was dropping, and then came hard, and he was so quick he got to him before he could set his feet and make a throw.
So 3rd and 21 now for the Huskies, who trail 26-0. With just over 3.5 minutes to go in this third quarter, Matt McGinnis is going to use a timeout. We will take one as well. 3:32 remaining, third quarter. Huskies trailing the Tigers 26-0 on Zaleski Sports.
Security needs to be at the top of the list when it comes to your family, home, and lifestyle. Our focus is providing your family with peace of mind by offering state-of-the-art systems that blend convenience and security into one. It all starts with our security system, which lets you add control of lights, door locks, thermostats, and more. You can control all of them with your touchscreen keypad or your mobile phone. With this state-of-the-art system, home control can be adjusted to your lifestyle automatically.
It's state-of-the-art security that fits into your lifestyle and your life. Give us a call today to learn more.
We are back at Carson Park. Eau Claire North looking at a 3rd and 21. As you can see, New Richmond dropping back 7 guys. They only have 4 on the line, and they drop one of those guys. Shipman throws incomplete, was trying to get it to Cam Olsen. Again, pressure on the QB.
Yeah, it was just a standard 4-man rush, and they were able to apply enough pressure to get it out of his hands before Olsen was really ready, and he threw it wide to him. You know, and Olsen was unable to get to it.
So 4th down. And the Huskies will bring out the punter, Tommy Perkins, once again. Abraham Munson will be back to return. Munson trying to get wide, and the Huskies
good coverage
were
there,
there, but now we've got a penalty marker thrown from the near sideline.
Yeah, that was thrown from a long distance away from where it was happening, so we'll have to kind of see again. It might be something a little behind the play.
Hudson has extended its lead in the third quarter over Superior. It's now 28-0 in favor of the Raiders. So again, it looks like we're going to have that Hudson at New Richmond next week for the BRC title. That ought to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that'll be a dandy, right? Both 6-0. You got the size of Hudson, the strength against this speed of New Richmond. That'll be a fun one. Tigers called for a block in the back right there on that punt return. So that sets the ball back at the 14-yard line for them to start their offense.
Tigers take over 1st and 10 from the 14.
Nick Stelrick remains at quarterback. Quick pass near side. And some positive yardage for Nick Salmon as he gets it across the 25.
Yeah, just a real quick pitch and catch. Salmon's got some room to run with it. Picks up about 12 on the play.
First down, Tigers.
Three minutes remaining in this third quarter. Handoff, Joe Hepner. Short gain. They'll bring up a 2nd and 8 now for the Tigers. Well, Sparks, we can start looking ahead to New Richmond versus Hudson next week. The Tigers will have home field advantage. I'm having a hard time picking a favorite in that one.
Isn't that the truth,
Every
right?
time we've seen New Richmond twice, we've seen Hudson once in person, and boy, both really impressive. Quick hitch to Salmon, who takes a pop from Maddox Gertz. But that'll move the chains. Another first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, Salmon, nice job of hanging on to that one. Like you said, Gertz came up here and put a lick on him, and Salmon bounces up, still trying to catch his breath a little bit after that hit.
First down, Tigers at their own 38. Hapner remains at running back. He'll get the carry. And he's able to lean forward to get it out to the 40. You know, it's interesting, Sparks. You know, we talk about that matchup next week, New Richmond hosting Hudson, and I wonder if the Tigers are playing a little closer to the vest tonight.
Yeah, I think they can now. You're right. I think they can just stay very basic. You know, run their scheme, not too flashy. You know, don't give anything away. If they're saving something, they're obviously going to save it for next week.
Stelrick will swing it to the far side, and that is going to be a first down. Good pitch and catch right there.
I do think what you're seeing now out of New Richmond is an emphasis on, hey, let's work on the pass game a little bit here late in the third, into the fourth. You know, we're comfortably in the lead 26-0. Let's try to, you know, continue to get better at something. And here I think they decided let's get better in our pass game.
Less than a minute to go. The line of scrimmage is the North 49. And straight up the middle goes Joe Hepner, and that spot will give him the first down.
Yeah, Hepner for 11 on that one.
Hepner, the ball carrier, tackled on the play by number 44, Carter Vance.
Carter Vance in on the tackle for the Huskies. And Richmond's going to let this clock run.
I think you're exactly right.
I think they're not going to have to snap the ball here. But an impressive quarter by the Tigers. Pair of touchdowns. You did have one PAT blocked, but after 3, your score, New Richmond 26, Eau Claire North 0. We'll have the fourth quarter coming up right after this on Zaleski Sports.
Today's game is brought to you by, for any size and occasion, look your best and stop at Muldoon's Menswear in Eau Claire. Muldoon's Menswear on South Hastings Drive in Eau Claire. Castle Insurance of Eau Claire is your independent insurance agent, providing coverage catered to your needs. That's Castle Insurance in Eau Claire. Are you an athlete ready to have the competitive edge? Are you looking to be your best and have the competitive edge at your job? Contact Vince at Athletic Wellness today. For over 30 years, Coldwell Banker Bernizer Realtors has been the #1 home seller in northern Wisconsin. For realty in the Chippewa Valley, call Coldwell Banker Bernizer Realtors today.
Welcome back to Carson Park in Eau Claire. New Richmond trying to stay unbeaten on the season, and the Tigers leading this one 26-0 over the Eau Claire North Huskies, who came into the game with still some playoff hopes. But if this score holds up, North is going to need a win next week in River Falls and then hope that the bracket shakes out in such a way that a sub-500 conference team can get in. Nick Stelrick remains at quarterback for the Tigers. Quick pass, picked off. Picked off Maddox Gertz.
Well, they've been coming to that quick slants, and Gertz finally read it. Got a good jump on it, undercut that throw for the interception. Good job by Maddox Gertz right there.
Yeah, you called it, Sparks. He just diagnosed that route. And they've gone to that a couple times with Stelrecht. And I think, when you got Stelrecht in there, you're either looking for something really deep or you're looking for those quick hitches. He doesn't throw the medium pass. He and Hitty are different quarterbacks, and they give you different looks. And that time, Gertz saw the formation and jumped the route and was rewarded with the pick. So now the Huskies will take over 1st and 10 at their own 28.
Shipman in there at quarterback.
Shipman remains at QB. Bouncing it outside, Cam Olson. Wrapped up by Kyle Germain, and Olson took him for a little bit of a ride.
Yeah, good bounce right there by Olson, designed to go inside. That all got collapsed, and he just kind of bounced it off the edge and picks up 5 on the play.
Second and 5 for the Huskies. And
see a false start on the Huskies.
Up front.
Dead ball, false start, offense. Number 72, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Well, with that 5-yard penalty, that'll make it a 2nd and 10 for the Huskies now.
We talked about Huskies next week. They'll be at River Falls and still some hope of getting into the playoffs. So I think it's important for the Huskies get some positive things going here in this fourth quarter so they can take some good feelings into practice next week.
Yeah, you really
Shipman
like to see
on the
them
run.
Put some points up here, huh?
Trying to run to the short side. There wasn't a whole lot of room that side. Again, that Richmond defense just flows really well to the ball. So now it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, design run all the way. Just give it to that quarterback, let him pick his hole. But just like you said, though, you run to that short side of the field, and that gets clogged up in a hurry with the speed into Richmond. Yeah, like you're talking in here about the Huskies. Their offense just needs to try to put a drive together and see if they can put points on board. Last thing they want to do is get shut out before they head up to River Falls. They want to end on something positive.
Shipman throws high and incomplete, trying to get it to Travion Johnson.
Shipman's pass was intended for number 1, Travion.
Update from Hudson. The Raiders have tacked on another touchdown to lead Superior 35-0. That one still in the 3rd. So another punt for the Huskies. Tommy Perkins will be standing inside his own 20. Abraham Munson will be the return man for the Tigers.
And another one that got off the side of his foot.
Perkins has been really good punting the ball this whole season. His last 2, not so much.
Yeah, it happens to the best of them, right? We watch that in the NFL, and you'll see a guy just catch it off the side of the foot and shank it out there. So, again, happens in the NFL. It's going to happen in high school. So, but unfortunately, it just gives those Tigers great field position again, in which they had all this half.
Reese Hitty back at quarterback. And he hands it off to Miles Burke, who continues his great game.
There is a flag on the play.
Burke gets down to the 30. The flag is thrown just inside the 40 on the near side.
Usually we're holding, and it is. They get the Tigers for a hold on this one.
I was going to make a really old reference, Spargs, about punting. NFC Championship, 1985 season. Bears hosting the Giants. I think it was the Giants. Sean Landetta back to punt. He catches the snap, drops the ball, and literally it misses his foot because of the wind.
You're right. Not you say
and
that.
He absolutely whiffed on it.
Swing and a miss. You're right.
And that didn't work out well for him or the Giants that day. Burke again finding a crease, and boy, he hits that hole hard.
Real nice pickup. Boy, he just gets through there, maintains his speed through the hole. He gets that second level, and he doesn't slow down one bit. Boy, he picks up about 10 on that one right there.
Gain of 8, so it's a 2nd and 7. Burke again will bounce it outside. He's got the first down and more. Gets it down close to the 25.
Well, here we were just talking about his great speed, right? He gets to the perimeter. What's he doing? Slowing down. He's reading his blockers. He's showing the patience. I've got guys out in front of me making these blocks. I'm going to slow down, let them finish their blocks, and then I'll turn it up. Just a good running back right there.
We've got a North player down on the far sideline. Well, he's attended to. We'll take a 30-second timeout and back with more on Zaleski Sports.
Be ready for your season with Play It Again Sports of Eau Claire. Play It Again Sports is just down the road, south of the 5393 intersection in Eau Claire. Just tell them you saw this commercial on Zaleski Sports and get $5 off any $50 order and $10 when you spend $100. Play It Again Sports, buy, sell, trade, and be ready for your season.
Eau Claire North Huskies trailing New Richmond. That injured player for North was Cade Johnson, senior linebacker, but good to see him jogging off the field. He missed the Chippewa Falls game with an injury. Sparks, during that break, we were kind of discussing top running backs in the BRC. I think Miles Burke would be in that conversation, along with Jonas Everson of River Falls.
Yeah, Severson and Burke, two outstanding backs and really different styles. You got Burke with that shiftiness and speed, and you got Severson just power, downhill runner.
Burke wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Rashawn Putnick. Check that, Bryce Heinbuck. 76, not 72.
Heinbuck's had a really good game today. He goes both ways, interior lineman. Called his name several times on defense.
Yeah, those are the two guys, Heinbuck and Putnick, playing both offensive and defensive line. So those are going to be two tired young men after this one tonight. Reese Hitty on the keeper. Wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Good penetration by the Huskies. Again, Heinbuck was in the middle of all that. Taylor Frederick helping out as well.
And he almost got away from that. He was slamming the turf because he thought he could have gotten away and made a big run out of that one. But 3rd and long here.
8.5 minutes to go. Clock is moving. 4th quarter. Hitty repositioning his running back, Miles Burke. Hitty under pressure, throwing deep. He's got a man there. Caught. Touchdown. George Schroeder again.
Well, Schroeder just out-jumps him for it. Hitty just tossed it up there like a jump ball, hoping that his guy could out-jump the D-back, and sure enough, he did. The Husky defensive back was looking for a push off there, didn't get it, but boy, did he go up and get that at the high point and just out-battled him for it. Little jump ball goes the Tigers' way.
$32-0, New Richmond. Bonneman with the kick, and it is good. 8:12 remaining. New Richmond has stretched its lead over Eau Claire North, 33-0. Back with the rest of the fourth quarter after this on Zaleski Sports.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
You know better when you see it.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like, and you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
New Richmond led 13-0 at the half. 2 touchdowns in the third for the Tigers, 1 more here in the fourth. That lead is now 33-0. Unbeaten Tigers definitely looking the part. North will start this drive on the 20 after some problems with that kick.
Well, I'm sure that halftime conversation in the Richmond locker room was simply talking about finishing drives, right? Let's not settle for 3 points, because you go back to that first half, Richmond had to attempt 3 field goals on 3 of their 5 drives. So I'm sure their conversation at halftime was finish, right? Let's finish the drives. Let's get 7 points. Well, they've come out here this second half, and all 3 possessions ended in 7 points.
Update from Doré Field in Chippewa Falls. Chi High getting another pick 6 to lead Eau Claire Memorial 40-16. And problems continue for the Huskies. Coming in was Andy Johnson, and again, he had a clear lane to the QB.
Well, all they're doing is simply they're going man underneath, okay? They're going to lock up all their guys but their receivers. They're letting their free safety play free. So we used to call that cover 1 free. Everybody's locked on. You've got 1 free safety not taking anybody, and those linebackers are just coming, right? If they see a gap or they see an edge, they're just coming as an extra body to go up with the pressure.
Loss of 8, 2nd and 18. And the ball carrier will get it across the 10, out close to the 15-yard line. So assuming these scores hold up, I haven't gotten an update from Menominee. The last score was a halftime score, 19-7 Mustangs leading at home over River Falls. But Chippewa Falls now leading Memorial 40-16 in the third. That score holds up. The Cardinals will be 3-5 overall, 2-4 in the conference. They will have a chance in the final week if they can pick up a win, and they go to Superior, again, winless Superior. So their path is looking like, okay, that's doable from their perspective. So maybe 3-4 gets the Cardinals in. We shall see.
That team to me is underrated. That is a very good 3-4 team. Let's say they go up to Superior and take care of business. But, yeah, we've seen Chippewa play a couple times this year. That is a good team. It's just surprising. They've had some tough losses. But, that's a team that could be 3-4 and go into the playoff and actually maybe do something.
Injured Husky is number 72, Rashawn Putnick. He's got the trainer looking at his lower extremities, and you certainly hope for the best for that young man. He has been a warrior for the Huskies, both on the O-line and the D-line. He's going to get a couple teammates to help him up and help him off. Yeah, it looks like his right leg, yep.
Yeah.
John Putnick, 6'4", 250-pound junior. We've got 7 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter, and Tigers up big on the Huskies, 33-0. Huskies looking at a 3rd and 16 from their own 14-yard line. McCracken is the quarterback.
And again, the Tigers overload that right side with all 3 guys coming. And the Huskies leave them unblocked down there again. A little reverse and a pass.
Reverse pass, man, deep incomplete. They had Travion Johnson behind the secondary. But again, I think that pressure for New Richmond
very
had that pass was thrown just a touch earlier than they wanted to.
Yeah, very disruptive as you're running that play, and you got a Tiger coming running through that backfield. But not a bad play call. Almost pulled that one off. If you can get that ball up and out there a little farther, could have gotten underneath that.
So now Perkins will have to punt it, standing just in front of his own goal line. Munson standing at midfield. And he's just going to back off there. I thought if he looked like if that ball would have bounced to him, he would have taken it, but instead it checked up. So the Tigers will take over in North Territory at the 43-yard line and leading 33-0. All right, Sparks, who do you like next week? Hudson at New Richmond. Put you on the spot.
Boy, that's that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with the size, just size and strength of Hudson. I think that's what I think they can help contain this, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game either way.
Yeah, and I think that's one where you definitely will want to keep an eye on what the weather conditions are, because I agree. Hudson's got just such size and physicality, and like literally every guy on that defense is like 6 feet 190.
Yeah,
and just an
all the
athlete.
linebackers are 6'2", 210.
Yeah, but then again, you got the speed of New Richmond. I think you give them a little, boost playing at home, although it's a short trip. Hudson to New Richmond. That not a lot of time on the bus for the Raiders, but that should be a really good one. And the thing is too, Sparks, you hope that whatever happens, that each team comes out of that injury free, because I think they're both capable of making a really long run.
Oh, you're exactly right. Play a great game, have it just be a battle, but stay healthy, and then really do have your best team ready for the playoff run.
They'll be in different divisions. The Hudson Raiders will be in Division 1. The New Richmond Tigers will be in Division 2. Lots of substitutes in for both teams.
I'll personally be surprised if this New Richmond team isn't at state when it's all said and done. Somebody could pull off the upset and knock them off on the way, but boy, they are just so deep and so solid.
Austin Whittick is the running back now. He wears number 86. 5'8", 155. We've got a timeout. We will step aside as well. 5:26 remaining. Fourth quarter, New Richmond leading Eau Claire North 33-0 on Zaleski Sports.
Today's game is brought to you by Apple Weight Loss Chiropractic Care is more than just making the pain disappear. It's about learning, understanding, and taking care of your body to improve your quality of life with Apple Weight Loss. Whether buying or selling, home, recreation, commercial, no matter your budget, find the listings at DonnellanOnline.com. Franson Bank and Trust has a team of experienced bankers that will provide a vast array of loan products tailored to your situation. Franson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Carson Park in Eau Claire. 33-0 is your score. New Richmond Tigers leading the Eau Claire North Huskies. And the Tigers well on their way to improving to 8-0 overall, 6-0 in the Big Rivers Conference. They wrapped up their playoff spot a while back, and right now this is all about playoff positioning now and seeding, and they should wind up with a pretty good seed, regardless of what happens next week when Hudson comes to town.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a final from Menominee. The Mustangs, impressive winners at home, 39-15 over River Falls. So, Menominee now 6-2 overall, 4-2 in the conference. But you go back to New Richmond, chances are their path, through the playoffs, they might run into River Falls and Menominee again.
Yeah, that's true. And again, those are two very solid teams. You think back, Menominee last year was kind of a down year for them, if there ever such a thing. But, all of a sudden, Menominee's found a way to come right back on top and be very solid this year.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what, which Big Rivers teams advance.
Good run.
Breaking it outside. There goes Wittick. I keep wanting to include Rice Lake in the Big Rivers because they're in the Big Rivers for all sports with the exception of football. They're in the middle border, but they'll return to the Big Rivers next year.
Yeah, and they've done a really nice job. Their football program has been outstanding for a couple decades now. They have just a solid program up there. So, again, we'll see what they do in the playoff run too.
Yeah, they'll be a Division III team, and the Warriors, if they played down at Camp Randall more than a few times. Had some nice ball clubs under head coach Dan Hill. Wittick on the carry, trying to get wide.
Number 86, Wittick, the ball carrier. Tackled by number 32 of the Huskies.
And the reason we don't give you that name of number 32 is that he's not on the roster.
Yeah, that seems to happen when they get a little deeper into the bench.
Wittick again bursts through and gets taken down.
Wittick, the ball carrier, tackle of the play by number 99, Noah Penniger.
Noah Penniger, who's another one of those guys that sees time on both the offensive and defensive lines. Third and, we'll call it 5 for the Tigers. Long count for Stelrick, the quarterback. Keep it on the ground to Wittick. He brings it down to the 12-yard line. It'll be a little short of first down yardage.
And Austin Wittick, I got him listed as a true freshman. You've got a freshman there, running back. You've got a sophomore at quarterback. What great experience for those guys as they get this playing time.
Yeah, and if they're able to get a long run in the playoffs, it just means a lot more practice time too. Great for those freshmen and sophomores in the program.
And that's why this program stays so tough.
Wittick on the carry, breaks through.
Gets the first down.
And he'll have the first down. So the sticks will move, and we'll see what Reggie Larson decides to do here, whether he'll just kneel it out and get out of Carson Park with a 33-0 win, or And I think I've answered my own question right here,
There it
what
is.
he's going to do.
Yep, little victory formation. Stelrick will wait till that back judge starts waving his hands down to the last 5 seconds.
So, New Richmond is going to leave Carson Park with a 6-0 record in the Big Rivers Conference, an 8-0 record overall. It is a final from Hudson. Raiders win by a score of 35-0. So, impressive performances tonight from the top two teams in the Big Rivers Conference that came in tied for the lead in the BRC. Yep, and that'll set up a winner-take-all game in New Richmond next week. That ought to be a lot of fun. North Huskies will head to River Falls. Well, they will face a Wildcats team that tonight dropped to 5-3 overall and 3-3 in the conference. It's not a final from Chippewa Falls yet. That game running a little bit long, but
yeah, a lot of points
Cardinals
scored over there.
In good shape there. Final seconds ticking off. And New Richmond, an impressive winner tonight here at Carson Park. 33-0 over the Eau Claire North Huskies. And, boy, you got to give it to the Tigers tonight, Sparks. They took care of business. They got that early lead. They extended that lead. They made plays on offense, defense, and special teams. And you can see why this team is unbeaten and will play for a conference title next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you just go back to that offense. They had 8 possessions tonight, only punted once. You know, they had four touchdowns. They had 3 field attempts, made 2 out of 3. And, you know, they're just so tough. That offense is just clicks. It's tough to maintain. You know, for a while there, they kind of had Miles Burke bottled up, and then all of a sudden, start of the third quarter there, that second possession, he rips off about a 45-yarder, and he's gone in a blink of an eye, and that pretty much put the game out of hand.
We'll recap the scoring in this one. New Richmond got it started first quarter on an 8-yard TD run by Miles Burke. Bjorn Bonneman booted the extra point. 7-0 Tigers after one. In the second quarter, 2 field goals from Bjorn Bonneman. One from 35 yards out, one from 25. It was 13-0 New Richmond at the half. Third quarter, New Richmond, Reese Hitty, a 17-yard TD pass to George Schroeder. The PAT was blocked. It was 19-0 at that point. And then, less than 2 minutes later, Miles Burke broke off a 44-yard TD run. Bonneman kicked the extra point, 26-0. Tigers after 3. And then in the fourth, Reese Hitty connected on a 29-yard TD pass to George Schroeder. Bonneman, another extra point, 33-0 New Richmond. That's the final. Sparks, it's going to be regrouping time for the North Huskies following this one and heading into next week, the final week of the regular season.
Yeah, this one's going to sting a little bit because, you know, I think North's a better team than what they showed tonight. I just think that everything's just clicking for the Tigers. They're just that good. But Huskies got to regroup because we've talked several times tonight about the fact that their playoff hopes are still there. I mean, they can get up to River Falls and take care of business and find a way to win that one. They can sit there and wait and see if somehow they sneak in. You know, we talked about Menominee was able to do that last year, 3-4 in the conference, and found a way to sneak into the playoffs. And these Huskies are kind of going up to River Falls thinking the same thing. Just get that one and let's see what happens.
Coming up next, the postgame show, which is brought to you by Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Rely on the experience of our sports medicine team when you experience any sports-related injury or issue. You can count on prompt, proper diagnosis and customized treatment plan to meet your goals. The orthopedic surgeons and our athletic trainers serve your athlete in Eau Claire, Chippewa Falls, and western Wisconsin. New Richmond knocks off Eau Claire North 33-0. The Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine postgame show coming up after this on Zaleski Sports.
Hip impingement and hip labral tears are common causes of hip and groin pain.
and are often the result of repetitive use from crouching, sports, or trauma. Today, we are visiting Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Dr. Carlson, a partner with Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, is in the forefront of using a newer procedure called hip arthroscopy, which allows minimally invasive access to a joint and treatments to problems never addressed before. Using hip arthroscopy, Dr. Carlson is able to repair tissue without dislocating the hip and without replacing it.
Hip arthroscopy is where a surgeon takes a camera on the end of a long wand, which we call a scope, and through a small poke hole incision in your skin, delivers that scope into a joint. In this particular case, we're talking about hip arthroscopy, where that scope would be put in the hip joint. The hip joint first has to be dislocated or the ball and socket pulled apart. When that's pulled apart, we can access the joint and look around and do the work we're talking about doing. Once inside the joint, through other portals, we call them, those poke holes that we use to access the joint, we can use other instruments, again on the end of a long wand, to perform the work inside the joint. Things like repairing the cartilage rim of the socket, called the labrum, fixing cartilage defects or problems on the head of the ball or the lining of the socket, repairing tissue around the hip, such as ligaments or capsule, repairing tendons that attach to the hip, or releasing them if need be, depending on the particular problem.
Dr. Carlson's goal is to eliminate the segment of untreated patients or patients with delayed treatment who have curable hip pathology, educating potential patients and their providers that these symptoms are not things they need to live with, or that they are not from their back or groin pulls or early arthritis. Few orthopedic surgeons are operating on hips through a scope because it is a newer and technically difficult surgery. Therefore, certain diagnoses may be missed by physicians not familiar with these newer treatment options.
Patients I see with hip joint pain that can be fixed and not just replaced can range from their mid-teens or younger teens to 50, 60 years old. In the past, patients who had labral tears in their hip were told that they may have some pre-arthritis or an early arthritic problem. They may be told that they were just prone to frequent groin pulls in the sport of their choice. And taking some time away from their sport, they may sometimes be able to return to the sport with just continued pain. And fortunately now, with our knowledge of the concept of labral tears and our ability to treat that problem, we can take people who are otherwise just waiting 20 years to undergo a hip replacement, or just feeling that they can't ever participate in that activity because they'll just keep getting groin pulls. We can take that person, we can make them better, we can fix their problem, we can bring them back to their sport and allow them to continue to develop as an athlete or as a worker or whatever particular activity they're trying to do where that hip was affecting them.
Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine has been committed to the healthcare needs of patients in western Wisconsin for over 45 years. Their success and reputation as an outstanding orthopedic clinic can be attributed to the teamwork of their friendly, knowledgeable physicians and staff.
Here at Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we have 12 partners, orthopedics, neurosurgery, non-operative spine, and foot and ankle. We really pride ourselves in listening closely to the patients and hearing what they're saying, spending a lot of time engaging in the conversation of what is really bothering that person.
After meeting with the patient, Dr. Carlson determined that his difficulties had all been related to painful hip impingement.
It was incredibly important for me to meet with a doctor that understood sports and athletics and kind of just how I wanted to continue that lifestyle instead of just kind of shutting it down. So meeting with someone like Dr. Carlson was incredibly important to me because he understood how I still wanted to be active after a surgery and still wanted.
Yeah, right up there you see the cameras. All right, welcome back to Carson Park in Eau Claire, New Richmond. Impressive win tonight over the Eau Claire North Huskies. Reggie Larson, Tigers head coach. It was a game that you guys got that early score and you just kept kind of growing that lead. Did the game kind of go kind of how you had hoped it would?
Yeah, I think we got off to a really, really good start offensively, but then kind of made some mistakes. They were kind of banging us up yardage-wise. We had some penalties offensively, so just some things to clean up there. But then after at halftime, I thought we really, really settled in and played kind of our style of football in all three phases of it. Our kickoff coverage was good. We were good on the PATs. We just had the one blocked. We were flying around on defense, getting some TFLs getting some sacks, and then just really methodical offensively, not necessarily leaning on one kid, but using all of our weapons at our disposal. And I thought that second half, I was really proud of how our kids responded.
Seeing your team in person now, this is the second time that I've seen you in person, and I've followed all the rest of your games. It just seems like every night somebody else steps up. There's a whole different group of guys stepping up on any given night, and that for a coaching staff just got to make you guys feel real comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, it's balance, and like as soon as you key on one guy, we got another one that can go and do it. And you look at it, our tight end, George Schrader, he's a heck of a football player. He'd been kind of had a slow couple weeks here, but then when you kind of lull people to sleep, he can make the big play like he did tonight. And he's not the only one. We got a bunch of guys that can do that. We got a running back, Miles Burke. We got a running back, Joe Hepner. Our quarterback, Reese Hitty, does a nice job. The other quarterback, Nick Stelright. Aiden Eckert's had big games. Max Kredovitz has had big games. Catcher Langness has had big games. It's very, very balanced, and it makes it a lot of fun to be a part of. And I give those guys an extraordinary amount of credit because they're not selfish. They don't pout about it. All they care about is winning and really putting the team first, and as long as that's getting done, they're thrilled.
Next week, you guys are home to host Hudson. It'll be the game to decide the conference title. How long do you get to enjoy this one, and when does the prep for the Raiders begin?
Yeah, not very long. Right away tomorrow morning, we kind of turn the page, get film submitted to our huddle pool, and then start the breakdown process right away. It's good. Big Rivers Conference wins, but you can't hang on to them too long. You got to kind of turn the page and get ready for next week.
All right, Coach, appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, let's talk to Miles Burke, and kind of picking up what I was talking to Coach about. It just seems that every week it's different guys for you guys. Tonight you had 2 touchdowns. Schrader had 2 touchdowns. How fun is it to play in an offense like this where anybody can step up and have a big game?
It's really a blast. We got everybody is really together, so it doesn't really matter who scores. We're all one together. So, some days I'll get 10 carries, some days I'll get 5, but it doesn't matter to me as long as we come out with the win and we play well. It's not that bad.
Take me through those 2 touchdown runs. The first one, did you see that first one opening up for you?
Yeah, I kind of did, and then I saw that backer flow, and I was like, all right, this is going to be a hit. I just got to keep pushing. So, yeah, I just kept my legs driving, and as soon as I got in, I was like, oh, yeah, this is a fun time.
And then the second one?
The second one, I kind of just saw, I think it was Aiden Eckert on the edge with that great block, and then I just made my cut, and I was like, I got to get this, got to unhook the trailer and just go. So
next week, Hudson's coming to your place. What's this week going to be like for you guys, and how do you kind of, block out a little of the noise, enjoy the excitement because, hey, this is what you play for as a high school football player, but at the same time, you guys got to take care of business next Friday night.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun week, a fun game, Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be a blast. We just got to stay focused, do our play our game, and not let distractions get in our way.
All right, Miles Burke, don't run away quite yet. We've got one more favor to ask of you. But right now, I'm going to wrap it up here from Carson Park. It's New Richmond defeating Eau Claire North. We'll be back here next Friday night at Carson Park for the season finale, Menominee Mustangs, Eau Claire Memorial, Old Abe's. Hey, we also have a great volleyball match for the Big Rivers Conference title. That'll be Thursday when Memorial goes to Chippewa Falls. But for tonight, for our producer Colin McClowry and color commentator Dave Sparger, I'm Bob Bradovich saying good night from Carson Park in Eau Claire. All right, so we got this thing. It's called the Zaleski Sports Highlight House. So all you got to do is say, I'm Miles Burke and I'm in the house.
All right.
Reese Hitty did this the last time you guys
Yeah?
did this. So now it's your turn.
Do I just go?
As soon as Colin gives you the, okay, you're good to go.
I'm Miles Burke, and I'm in the house.
Yeah. All right.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Hey.